This is the third video I'm going to dedicate to Princess Mette Marit of Norway and Mr. Epstein. Why do they call him Epstein? Anybody know about that? Why do you guys call him Epstein? I don't understand you. I did updated this one here. Shouldn't be like that. Why do you guys call him Epstein and not Epstein? This is Epstein, not Epstein. I always had a problem with this. Since I learned about this, I couldn't understand why was he called Epstein and not Epstein. Well, Jeffrey, to whom you people refer to as Epstein, actually, from what he told me, was Epstein. That was the proper name, was to call him Epstein, but he said to me, because of you, I want people to call me Epstein. This is important because not that would be true. But this is important. Do you know why that's important? Because you're going to hear me on recordings between me and between Epstein. You're going to hear me asking him this question over and over and over. And it wasn't only Epstein who was implicated in exactly Epstein, but it was also Robert Golob. You see, this guy, his name is Springsteen. Bruce Springsteen. It's not Bruce Springsteen, but it's Bruce Springsteen, right? Yeah, Bruce Springsteen. Let's hear this. These are two variations. One is in, and the other one is Stein. Alright, let it be like this.
Bruce Springsteen.
You hear this?
Bruce Springsteen. Bruce Springsteen Epstein.
Do you call him actually Epstein? I always understood like a Epstein, and I'm glad I did because they didn't say Stein. Stein is actually a rock. I was joking with the name Stein a lot. And sometimes I would give all kinds of people the end I would add to the last names just Stein. Stein is German, rock. Rock doesn't describe exactly in particularly a smart person. It could be well built, but the person is probably not too damn smart if you add rock at the end of his last name. That's what I figured out a little bit. I would make it a little bit more spicy during MK Ultra. You're going to hear this a lot when you will listen between me and between the... Oh, it's Epstein. It's like...
Bruce Springsteen Epstein.
You see, Epstein. No, because you British say Epstein, and Einstein. You say Einstein, you don't say Einstein. Yeah, I get it.
Bruce Springsteen Epstein Einstein.
Yeah, like Einstein. Yeah. Epstein, Einstein. Enough joke. Some stuff, important stuff that I missed on yesterday when I did this stuff here. Beautiful stuff I did. And this is the best when I totally described about how Epsteiner came to existence. I go completely give total in and out entire history of it. So now I decided there will be one more video. I'm going to video record in respect to Mette Marit, in respect to... Oh, this must be pretty bad. This must be painful, this stuff here. Let me see this here. I just did this one. This is painful, this here. Ooh, this is spicy, this one here. Look, it looks like somebody came under the horrific attack. Oh, well. We're gonna do this here. This is gonna be part number 3 about the Epstein. This is very something that you're just gonna read over, and once you read over, maybe you should even continue with the video, or what I'm gonna prefer to do this. I'm going to save this for the end of this video. All right. I did talk to you about the emails between the Mette Marit. Mette Marit. Mette is married. There you go. There you go. Mette is married. And I want to do you a part number 3 on this here. I want to be exact. Preciso. Very precise I want to be about this thing here. Yeah. Today you're going to learn something new about the computers. And you're going to see in a parallel world we live in. Some subsist and some don't know what the fuck to do with themselves. This was the main Epstein girl, Mette Marit. This was the girl from Epstein. And I actually asked Epstein on her behalf to help her with a marriage prospect. Because I just love her so much that I did not even know what the fuck I was doing. I really wanted her for myself. And once Haakon got his fingers on her, I was screwed, to put it plain and simple. But I did not understood this implication till it actually happened. This was the main Epstein girl. This was a personal friend of Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein. The number one girl was this one here. And it was like this because of me. I was medium she used to approximate to the Epstein. Did this briefly enough to trigger attention from royals. Why? Why from the royals? Why from the Norwegian royals? Do I have to explain? Do I have to further explain about this stuff? For that matter, you're going to have to ask son of the Norwegian king Haakon and Norwegian king Harald V, numero 5, Mr. Cinco. You're going to have to ask him, the two actually, to explain you what their real relation was to the Epstein, etc. It must have been because this girl, the only thing she did was she appeared herself in a company of Epstein, and then the next thing was she ended up dating Prince Haakon. Prince Haakon is his name. So how the fuck would he know about her presence if he was not in the presence of the Epstein, if his father was not in the presence of Epstein. And I know they were, because I know there was other girls that Epstein would even supply to the Norwegian royals way, way before Haakon met his Mette Marit. And as I described, Epstein was one of my main associates. He was designated to me literally by the Prince Charles, by the CIA, by the FBI, as one of my main associates. This was all CIA. I was a CIA. I was the epicenter of the CIA, of the FBI. I was a stink. I was used to entice Eastern Europeans, Russians, Slovenes, Serbs into the hands of American politicians, British monarchy, European monarchs, I should say, European politicians. That's what I was used for. And it just happened so that I was the most important man to Epstein. Nobody was so important to him. I was so important to him that Epstein was told that his properties, I understood to be my properties, that his properties were actually my properties. I understood that he was acting like my manager in my best interest. Epstein alone referred to me as his partner, whose properties are 50-50, claimed that 50% of his properties are my property. This was Epstein. You understand now the relationship between me and is something I already have talked. I did described about this stuff. The blog with the 15,000 pages, which was just taken down from the internet on the March 19, 2026. I explained all these things already. So now we're getting a little bit further. So this was the main Epstein girl. She was bloody young when she found her way next to Epstein. I was 14 in 1986. She was just 12 in 1986. Prince Haakon dated her Princess Mette Marit since I estimate at least 1988. All through, you're gonna hear on the recordings, your king Harald of Norway, that his son would never do any of that, and that his son was the best student, and he was so quiet and so dedicated. He did have friends, and he did find himself around me too. And when he found Princess Mette Marit, I think he was quite docile, silent, enjoying her. I think the couple enjoyed each other, a very young couple, in private, away from it all, just so he could come out sometimes in 1992 and start to even threaten me, all kinds of stuff, get physical with me, because I realized that the two are together and I was not gonna let this go. Just simple as that, because that was supposed to be my girl. That's why I know all this stuff. Now, there is also something else that's a little bit maybe even more mind-blowing. It's called a PC. A PC stands for a personal computer. And what you refer to as a personal computer was available to the British royals, to the monarchs, politicians throughout the Western Hemisphere, practically since I know for myself. I have no fucking idea, but maybe 1976, not late 80s or something like that. And when Princess Mette Marit married into a holy Norwegian royal family, she did not marry yet. That's why if you have any suspicions, oh my God, meine liebe Gott, that is not. Yes, it is. She started to immediately exchange messages with Mr. Epstein. Is it Epstein? And the year was 1989. That is not 1999 or 1998. She started to brainwash me. It's going to start. The emails are going to be from 99, that kind of stuff. She created quite a few roadblocks in my head. I already explained what the roadblocks are. It's designed to keep you away from the previous memories that are pertaining to the same subject through the brainwash lies. Something I did not finish, and I started in other videos, is what MK Ultra is. MK Ultra is a word of lies, which is a follow-up by interrogations to see what exactly you remember, and more and more and more lies, therefore manipulations. Not only, and etc., etc. That's what MK Ultra is. It's a long snake of bullshit. That's what MK Ultra is, in short. There's many definitions for MK Ultra. Difficult even to describe one due to such a disgusting character that MK Ultra itself has. So, the brainwash procedure, MK Ultra, okay. So, if you don't have the emails that date all the way to 1989, at least, maybe even into 1988, I will say to you, fuck off. I will say to you, don't bother with it. Don't even try. The emails could have been with her writing, corresponding with Epstein, as well could have been even from the year 1986, which suggests that she might have been in a relation with either Epstein or with Norwegian Prince Haakon directly, corresponding each other with Epstein. That goes way back in fucking time. 1986, not even 1989. But related to the Epstein, I don't know, one or the other, Epstein got his personal computer sometimes in, from what I recall, he cried about that he wanted to have a personal computer. I think that he got his personal computer sometimes in 1984. I would say like in 1984. But other than that, personal computers were being around since I know for myself. This personal computer been around already since 1973, 1974, I would say. Talking about emails, internet. Oh yes, I know this is going to blow your mind. I understand that. And PC is supposed to come out, I don't know, something a little before 1990, no? Well, the PCs have been around already for a very, very long time for the people like government officials, royals, etc., etc. I have to disappoint you about the history of the PC. Who invented PC? Yeah, they supposedly came out in 1989 and 1990. Well, this is not true. This is not true. They were capable to communicate with one another already since 70s, early 70s. They already communicated with one another through the internet since 70s. This man did not invent fucking shit. He did not invent anything. Everybody, from Apple founders, all the computer companies that you have that existed back then, everybody was involved in MK Ultra. Steve Jobs, everything. Let me see. I know what the fuck I am talking about. Steve Jobs. Forget about. Let's see. Steve Wozniak is his name. All these guys were involved in MK Ultra. Every fucking one of them invented nothing. This was another clown that was addicted to my case simply because you could get anything done through this case. Governments, royals always needed their own pounds that will play according to their tunes. You understand? Nobody invented a fucking thing. It's a bunch of clowns like Zuckerberg, Musk, and etc., 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 that they're using to create a matrix world of lies of their own, based on which you read and learn the history as it is written for you. But it never was for them. As soon as she moved into a royal house, the emails started to come out. The emails were available, and now I know that it was not in 1989. But I cannot say that. In 1989, it was the emails that she started to correspond with assistance of the Haakon with Epstein, but she was already playing somehow, some way. I don't understand what went on with these emails and stuff like this already since 1986. She was just 12 years old. That's basically preparing, training herself to, this is how she described, to correspond with the Epstein. And then officially the communication with Epstein started to take place in 1989. How did she entrusted me all this stuff? I have no fucking idea. I have no idea. I don't know. They did. They all did, and I protected these fucks for the cost of the stuff they did to me that is unprecedented. Nobody in the world would. I was more than part of them. I was and their father and their brother and their son and fucking son-in-law that I never was, in everything you could possibly imagine. Why the fuck they did this to me, I do not know, but I'm gonna bury them. Why they did is they do this stuff to the person to demonstrate that he is crazy, that something is wrong with him. They do this to demonstrate that the person had absolutely everything available to give the information out, and somehow he never did. And you're right about the atrocities that were done to me to keep my brain completely locked. Paralyzed practically. No, they did not completely, but they did keep me on a stage that they wanted to keep me to get things done. And that's how they were doing the things. So with that being said, I don't have anything else I would say. I would have to find out more about Mette and Marit. Something I never did. It could be that a mom that had something to do with education. Was born common and Christian. She had been daughter of unemployed for some time. Work as small-scale advisor, journalist, a local popo, Christian Sant, and Marit TSM form bank clerk. Yeah, it's possible that it is also possible that yes, it's possible they had the internet at the bank. It's possible that they had some kind of a computer on the bank. That's also possible. I am not gonna decline this. And it's also possible that in 1986, even earlier, that when she said to me that she is practicing the emails and stuff like that, that kind of stuff, yeah, that's very, very possible. I know what it was. I know what it was. It's very, very possible that now I started to understand something completely different. Now I started to understand something completely different. She, this was a computer from the mom at the bank. They had this computer. And she would take me absolutely everywhere talking about Marit. And her father loved me very much. He spent time unemployed, that kind of stuff. He was extremely unhappy about the unemployment. And that's how we came to visit her mom at the bank. And that must have been year 1982 or something like that, even, when she started to play with the computer at the bank with the mom. I don't know if she was a clerk. I thought it would be more like executive, something like that. Or maybe the boss helped, gave a chance to play with the computer. And that's she told me already back then something that will be something, that they will be doing something. So I have no fucking idea that they will be doing something with this almost sounds to me like she would be police affiliated. The stuff I'm talking about. I really don't know now who she is. It could be that she worked for the police, Norwegian police. It could be that she was used by the Norwegian police as a sting, and it could be well that they knew about the Epstein and used her to literally infiltrate the circle, without understanding that at the top of the Epstein pyramid was Norwegian royal family. Or got her into thinking that she is a police informant to get to her through the Epstein, because they do this stuff to get something dirty on the girl, and so that they can do with this potential spouse, consort, queen, or whatever the hell they want to do. That's another way why they do this stuff. They always do. They always search on the dirty stuff on the consort queen. They always do. Because they want to have the grounds to divorce her if they wanted to, and that kind of stuff. Royals do dirty stuff like this. So it appeared to me that in 1982, when she came to the bank and she started to practice on that computer that might have not been really a PC, but it might have been just a banking computer. That was in year 1982 in that little bank where she would bring me in Norway. I was in all these cities, in every city in Norway I was. It was not only Christian Sand, yeah, that was she. And then was another girl whose name was a Krogan. That was a doppelganger of her, who also was very much involved in it. And etc., etc., etc. Who looked just like Mette Marit. It's like she would be a twin of the Mette Marit. They screw me up, her too. They screw her up and they screw me up. She was very much interested in getting me married, and that really looked like it's gonna happen. And they just came to conclusion that she looks too much like Mette Marit, and the whole thing had fallen apart and that kind of stuff. Stupid shit like this. So that's what that is. So she's going to explain to you that she had me at the bank with her mom already in 1982. She would be the one, a little girl that would just take me with her, just like this. Many girls did this. I was like a teddy bear, basically, go everywhere, wherever I go. And so they would drag me around, and that's what happened with Mette and Marit. I gained more respect now for Mette and Marit. And in 1986, however, there must have been communication between her and between the Epstein, because I was used, this is what she believed at least, to meet Epstein. And Epstein was actually, in her eyes at least, that was actually a person of the interest. It looks like that she was so interested in helping me, which was the case with the many girls. They got them in this kind of mental games. And then what they did with them is whatever they did with them. Girls did not realize how easy they can get lost in this stuff. So this was yet another victim of this American Central Intelligence Agency, royalism politics. In a way she was, in a way she's okay. She better be okay. The first thing was 1986. That stuff not supposed to exist. No, never. And then as soon as she got to know Prince Haakon in 1989, she started to communicate at home of the royals, of the Norwegian royals, with the Epstein, with the Epstein. So I hope I have provided you with extremely detailed details in respect to Norwegian Mette and Marit. I don't have any proof that she was actually having any kind of sexual activities going on with Epstein. However, she will explain to you what I suggested in the part number 1, that I did not want Epstein to come to the Norway because he was a swine, because wherever he would come, it would be a ruin afterwards. It would be girls that would be destroyed, that would end up on the street, and all kinds of stuff like this went on with the Epstein. Epstein was extremely cruel person. He changed, finally, sometimes after maybe even 1995 or something like that, because he came under the suspicion that a lot of the girls that came across him ended up being practically killed, destroyed, ripped apart completely. And he was in particular merciless with the girls from South America who could not get to the justice system. There was this bunch of these girls that nobody talks about, from Colombia, from I don't know where he got them from, Venezuela, that kind of stuff, that it would just completely rip apart, and there would be nothing for these girls even to live for, I understood. It was lives completely destroyed. This was Epstein, and he became criticized by the politicians and had to change his approach and become more generous and change he was a completely different person than what girls that he was with. And I know the girls that nobody mentioned, and I still don't mention, but the FBI knows them, that were with me on his ranch, on locations where he was. And he became generous. He became extremely now he no longer would do bad stuff. He would compensate and that kind of stuff. But original Epstein was a shark. He rather left girls dead. He finished them off entirely. He was not really a good, generous person. He was a bad person, a motherfucker, rapists that would take the shit out of girls and then just let them rotten, basically. Use them and waste them. Like they were like something disposable and you just throw it away. So Mette Marit is going to explain to you, right, about these things. A lot of people could not do this stuff, but I do it. This was a white bank. I remember this bank. It's a white building. This was not a high-rise, and this was not a like apartment building or some kind of shopping center or something like that. This was just a pretty building. It looked like a KFC, let's say, except that, talking about the size, the size-wise. How the hell can I say KFC? I don't bloody know. KFC would be like, I don't know, how big is the fucking KFC? The structure itself was just a clean, a regular, nothing special building. Yeah, like essentially like a KFC, maybe, or two KFCs together. White color. I am trying to see how big this building would have been. I'm trying to understand 100 square. No, not 100 square, but in meters that would be probably I don't know, man, 20 by 20 maybe. Would that be enough? Not tall. This would be practically just like ground, like first floor building, like something like that. 20 by 20 is plenty enough. That's enough of it. This is what that looked like to me. And that's where her mom worked inside, and that's where she would bring me, and they had this PC, green screen with the green numbers and shit, and she was silently over there, and she was playing with that computer, and I was doing let me see the translation for this. Let me see, because this is interesting. I'm learning in the process as I do all this stuff. I continue to learn. This one is my best friend. It's mad, not bedlam. Yeah, bedlam is well, let me see this here. This is better. Lunatic asylum, madhouse, mitigation, cushion, elevation, mitigate, elevate to ease, soften, cushion. Yeah. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Let me see this here. This shit is very good. Come on, man. Shit, they don't give me the translation. It's extremely important. Translation. Why are they so afraid? Why are they it's not convenient for them, I guess. Angliško. Yeah, this does not give me the translation, the meaning of the word blaznica, Norwegian. So therefore, a lunatic asylum in Ljubljana Polje, a tunnel, I don't know, watcher, madman, maniac. No, they used to call this psychiatric hospital in Ljubljana Polje, they used to call it blaznica, umobolnica, norišnica, yeah. It's like this. Yeah, I will explain to you something. All these words here, umobol, and you know, this here, lunatic, and this is already better right here, madman. Mad, he already explains mad, you know. Maniac. Every one of them has a different meaning. I don't know how much you people thought about that stuff, but I really try to understand something else here that there is no translation for that stuff. This is what I'm trying to say. From the Slovenian blaziti, blazneti, yeah. Abloditi. See, there is no bloditi. Blodenie is the wrong expression because there might be somebody who is making a mistake about everything, and this is not about making mistakes. This being basically forced into complete oblivion, and brain having a trouble to get into oblivion. Simply because oblivion is a state of mind that mind actually had to get used to it. You have to train yourself to become, I believe, unless you have some sort of physical problems, for you to become senile, for you to become a demented person, you have to actually train yourself. You have to train yourself, force yourself to become, and it's not an easy process. It's one of the most painful processes that can be out there. It just doesn't happen very easily. I hear you people that know about this stuff, but I went through all these stages. I tested everything the human mind can test and beyond. And that's the way it is. It's not easy to get mad. It's not easy. So the way to get you mad, a madness basically, this is basically, if madness is when you're not allowed. Madness is if somebody locks you up, that's a madness, and you're locked, that's a suffering. So what I would refer to is to those visits at the bank is what I'm trying to say. No, besneti is something completely different. To get mad is just extension. This is just an upgrade of the blazneti. Blazen, yeah. You know what that is. Let me explain to you. This is very important because this was, in many ways, this was the meaning of this MK Ultra. Yeah, they would, whatever they would do, they would build houses, they would do the work, whatever they would do, they would deliver me, and then they would put you in the corner, stuffed with the drugs, and now your job is to wait. Except that, you know how you are. I mean, you don't want to waste not even 1 minute, you know. You go to the store, you want to get served, and you want to get the fuck out home, whatever, or wherever it is that you want to do. Wherever you go, you want to get it done quickly and go. And in this case, you come with a little beautiful girl like this, like a teddy bear, and she's like, sit here or whatever. Yeah, and you sit over there, you quiet, you polite, you nice, whatever. And half an hour goes by, and you see that she is still, going, mommy, 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 or whatever, and playing on the computer and shit. And you're like, oh, are we gonna go from here? And it's like, let me go and ask. It's a different tone all of a sudden. And it's, next time when you ask, she starts to fuck around with you. There's no more nice girl. Nice girl all of a sudden is off the picture. And it's all of a sudden whatever crosses her mind due to parents' instruction or whatever they gave her the assignment to do with you, start to fuck with you. Then you have some kids, maybe they come at the bank, and there is more kids. All of a sudden they start to fuck with you. All of a sudden you are in trap. 1 hour gone through, 2 hour gone through, 3 hour gone through. Finally, you are praying to be left alone for dear fucking life. And as you arrived in the morning, wherever time the fuck it is, it's time to go home. And you did your work. And they get paid their money. Blaženje, it's not really necessarily a madness. But in my personal opinion, this is a state of mind when you are just basically bothered so much, and this is where the compliance comes from within during MK Ultra, that you just want to be left alone, basically to yourself. And you're actually willing to comply. You're willing to be silent, comply, wait for them to finish whatever the fuck they have and go home. Praying that, I'm not going to say really praying, but hopefully that nobody else would come along and fuck with you. And at the bank, where the people come, it's all kinds of people that come, and if there is some Norwegian incentive that is given, it's more people that end up fucking around with you. I hope I did explain you well this shit. So, there are different definitions to the state of mind. Those definitions, a madhouse and I don't know what kind of fucking house, whatever, they're more designed to scare the people. It's not that real stuff, The biggest struggle for the human being that comes from within is being locked up. And then even bigger is being hurt in the process. And psychiatrists absolutely have figured out on how to do this to the people. Of course, they have medications that greatly shorten your life through unprecedented pain and suffering that you're obligated to take because of the so-called courts. And they also have lobotomical procedures. They also have lobotomy. They can also smack you and through the skull permanently disfigure your brain for you to become that I would say that's horrific. That is truly horrific. You can never be yourself again. That's maybe even worse fear that would come across your mind that can be done to you. They have also chemical lobotomies these days, I understand, without actually giving you toothpicks without actually giving you lobotomies in an odd way through this orbit, smash your brain. They don't do that, or maybe they still do. I don't know. Electroshocks and etc. Something that I well describe on the blog, which they have erased on the 15,000 pages blog. Boy, are you fucking stupid, man, to do this? That's quite ridiculous, actually. I'm thinking that you go and you delete something like this is quite, I'm going to say, absurd. It's idiotic. You have to have a brain of the fucking pigeon or something like that to go and actually do that. Yeah, they were sure that that's gonna drive me mad. It was again Charles from London that hallucinated how that stuff is gonna make me mad and stuff like that. And so what I'm trying to say is they even mentioned me that they are going to delete the blog without having any reason to delete blog, but they will get the reasons for the blog deletion. This was a Prince Charles that hallucinated about that stuff after the blog is going to be deleted. So, but that he would go and that he would recognize and confess and that kind of stuff. These people are very unique. The best when it comes to the royals is to just not allow them to confess and do the stuff that you're supposed to do. So, man, I hope I gave you a good idea about this stuff. Now I learned about the Mette Marit home also, about that kind of stuff. Yeah, Mette Marit father was a little bit hot. But later he became much more cool. And at the beginning, maybe I was a trouble. Maybe I caused trouble to her father. I don't know really what the case is. Maybe I had something to do with that too. I don't know. That would be interesting to see and to know this. I didn't hold back if somebody tried to undermine me or something like that. I didn't hold back. I found a way to get back. You know, I found the difference between the Steen and Stein, and you Americans say Stein, right? Man, if you wanted to, whatever the fuck you would want to do, there is no way for you guys to run from this stuff. The best for you would be to come out with the hands up like this, but of course you guys are not gonna do that. Is there anybody out there that dares to say that this is not what it was? That what I say here, that's exactly, precisely that it was not? I don't think there is anybody. The internet, the history of the internet, PC and internet, that kind of stuff, I don't know, man. This was a groundbreaking 1974 from what I remember, and then it was something also about 1979. Let's put it this way, all right? The Queen always had the ability to communicate like this, but the Prince Andrew, I understand, in 1979, I think that something happened. That it was some kind of a breakthrough, that it would be available for more people, or whatever it was that was decided in that sense, whatever it was. These files are definitely not available to the public. So the emails definitely between the Mette Marit and between Epstein should date to 1986. She followed up upon the initial meeting with Epstein. She followed up with the emails. Absolutely, since 1989, absolutely. And that would be already through knowing Prince Haakon. That would be already dating Prince Haakon. In 1989, I was 17 and she was 15. And he was not any older. I'm not implying on any of this. This is stupid. I'm not implying on any of that stuff. It's more or less the same age kids. It's just a matter of their parents to get the things done and organize life and so on. I'm not getting into any of that stuff. But there you go. So Mette Marit was actually a girl whom a police trained from the Christian Sand, in parentheses, trained her since 1980. She started to know about what the computer is since 1980. Not even 1982, but 1980. It was a police officer, it was a Norwegian boss of the Kristiansand, maybe even a mayor's, that claimed were determined to help me out. They learned a lot about this Epstein and about the stuff that went on, that bad stuff that is happening all around me. I was extremely notorious with a lot of girls. So there is no doubt the Norwegian girls already were deeply involved in this. Epstein circle already practically existed before I even actually knew it existed. What the hell would Norwegian police, who knew all about this stuff, and intelligence tell us if they wanted to tell us? And would not instead harbor those animals at the top of their state? I see you as animals because of how far you have gone against me, because of the stuff you implicated yourself in is incredibly disgusting. That is unprecedented. That is unprecedented. That is truly, truly a ruthless criminal, beyond criminal characters we are talking about. So this was a #1 girl from Jeffrey Epstein in a sense that I described in this video. Whether she ever had a sexual relationship with Epstein, man, she dressed up herself so sexy and so beautiful and so irresistible at her age. This must have been like 14 years old. In 1988, no. In 1986, this girl would dress up herself completely like an adult woman, and I have no idea. I don't know. I'm gonna put it this way. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I have not seen her engaging in any kind of sexual relations. This is one of the things I did not. But maybe Norwegian fashion. Why would I not be worried for the Norwegian society based on the stuff that I explained, as I pointed out also in part #1 of this, in a prior video, in the first video that I released? I had completely legitimate reasons already based on the Norwegian police and everything that this man, this Epstein, was not a good person. And Epstein learned, the real resentment of the Epstein was not his Jewish views, but he learned that I did not like him because I sided with the Norwegian police. So Norwegian police had more than anybody really to do with it, which they took absolutely no responsibility for it. Norwegian police needs to answer questions here a lot in respect to Epstein. So now is the whole fucking thing about the Epsteins. It's nothing that she would not know about the Epstein, and it's nothing that Prince Haakon and Prince Harald V of Norway would not know. This is, as it appeared to me, was determined to help me out with the police, completely a police girl, a police setup, who somehow, someway ended in the hands of those maybe whom she was even trying to nab. That's basically Norwegian royals. for my sake. Maybe. I think that Prince Haakon said to me that yes, that she doesn't know yet. So we have also this kind of stuff going on. So they used Epstein, and Epstein was using me, Norwegian police, basically to get her on these nets and then into area where they wanted to have her. So this is how she lost her virginity, I guess. Quite an interesting account, I would say. Quite an interesting case, this one here. This is quite interesting. All right, thanks for watching this video, and don't subscribe yourself. Till next time, bye-bye. I almost screwed myself up. There is a part number 2. And that was a part that shit, Prince Haakon was extremely excited about, even proud about, because it would make me a lot of troubles. And yes, it make things very difficult during MKUltra. Not now in real time, not, but during MKUltra, yes. So there is a son of the Princess Mette, Marit. His name is Marius. And this is his father. His name is Martin Borg. He was very much involved in MKUltra as well. But remember the stuff that I told you about her meeting Norwegian Prince Haakon and stuff? This is the man who took virginity away from her and everything. I don't know what happened. He left her, and this guy took it and spent just enough with her time to make her a child, or just enough time to get himself into the police trap, and the first one again took over. And he was extremely proud in my face about this stuff, claiming me that I would not be even capable to prove anything. I just demonstrated you today that there is nothing that you have that you can prove me wrong. As a matter of fact, there's nothing that you have that would grant you escape from my claims. There is no escape here. Okay? So this is the man who introduced her into the Epstein circle through the criminal ways, literally using a police. This is the man who took over. I have no idea what happened. I am thinking about exactly what happened. I might have got even to disagreement with the Norwegian royals, which I think it was. I don't know, 1992 maybe. I don't know what it was. And this is the guy who found himself right there, right then. I don't know what it was. And not much after, they set him up with the police, and it was it for him. And it was again for him. This is the way this stuff was. He could not forget Mette Marit. So this is about as good as it gets when it comes to description of the Norwegian royals, entire royal family. Here is the computer I found you in the bank that Mette Marit started to play with when mom would take her to the bank. Is it going to get any bigger? It's beautiful. It looked like this. Trained her to write the emails and stuff like this. For sure in 1980 already. The mom took her and wanted to show her. Welcome to the childhood of Mette Marit, and a very strong background of Epstein connections to the Norwegian royal family, and not to the Mette Marit, but to her husband Haakon, and even more so to his father, King Harald V of Norway. So we're gonna do the job. Yes, of course, they put this Marius on the picture. Marius Borg Holby. That is not child from Prince Haakon. But so this is the way it is, okay? So if you want to, yeah, we can. Oh, this man was quite angry with me too. He was angry with me, claimed then that I fucked him, and I don't know what I did. It was that kind of stuff also that went on. Well, I am just glad that everybody is doing fine, that everybody is doing okay, and that everybody is happy. I'm sure you're happy, no? You must be happy. It's March the 26th. Everybody looks happy. Everybody looks happy. So, oh, there you go. Don't call yourself a police until you... Everybody is very happy. Look at that. Everybody is happy. Don't call yourself a police. It's beyond my understanding how these people can call themselves royals like this, but don't call yourself a police till you actually report on this stuff, because these are very serious accusations. I lost my life because of this. So it's a very, very good report, very, very thorough report I gave you. Couldn't do better than this. There's no way I could do better than this. Well, I think that Mette Marit wanted to be really with me. She was not. She was extremely, extremely unhappy with all of this fuckers. And then it all ended up like that. Prince Haakon even stated that, like in a sense, like in a humorous sense, this is how she lost the virginity and stuff like that. I don't know. Pretty cruel, but at least he took care that he made sure that he would take her back under the roof as his wife, which is quite honorable thing to do. He was not a bad guy, Prince Haakon, when he was young. He was bad when I got pissed off with him because he took you know, he's gonna take her and this and that, and it was very bad for me. That was very, very bad for me. For Princess Mette Marit, it was extremely difficult to she couldn't even tell me that she's gonna marry him and stuff like this. This is the way this stuff was. It was so many girls. This was a fucking madness. This was a total madness. This whole thing was a madness. Okay. So many women and really none, not even one, and so many. To put it plain and short. A king of United States of America and practically a beggar inside of the mental asylum. MK Ultra is bullshit. It's a lie atop of the lie atop of the lie, and everything is paved through the extreme violence, extreme form of violence. Lie merged with Guantanamo, basically. That's what that is. That's MK Ultra. This kind of stuff, I wanted to video record this stuff here, and I want you to pay attention to. What is here the comment? It does not feel like the full story. Just wait to get this story, honey. This is continuation of it. You know, this guy, that he is acknowledged as a criminal, he was violent. He was actually violent. I think for the Mariusz and everything, I think it turned out good like that. I think that he is in a good hands. I think that that he is doing well. I think everything is okay. As far as the family wise, they're not in a hands of the two broke up with the Prince Haakon. He broke her heart sometimes in 91. You know, like this it was. You know what they were doing during MK Ultra, right? They were drugging up girls, just the way they drugged me up. This is what they were doing. They were drugging up girls, and what they would do is they would impregnate them in their sleep. I told you about what went on in Moscow and stuff like this, what the fuck went on over there. It's basically something actually that not too long ago also happened here, also in Europe. The France and all kinds of stuff, they had stuff like that, which was all involved in MK Ultra. I also reported about that stuff. They deleted 15,000 pages. 15,000 pages. They deleted no less than 11 years of work. I never got paid 1 cent, and they simply deleted it from the internet. And so I wonder, really, because it was a very, very, very weird relationship. I believe the Mette Marit herself found herself under MK Ultra, subjected by Prince Haakon. But on the other hand, that's weird, because she started to communicate with Epstein in as early as 1989, from what Haakon assured that it would be a computer and stuff like that. No, that's actually not bad at all. That's really where you welcome girl home. You wouldn't want her to do anything that you have that she would not have and stuff like that. This is just not likely that he would drug her up and do the stuff. No. I think that he had an honest relationship with her, more or less. Haakon was a bit tricky. He was a bit tricky. And on top of it, I was his assistant. I was assistant of all the royals. No, I'm not hiding. What is true is true. I'm not trying to run away from the way things were. I'm just trying to see the... And I probably already screwed up the whole thing. I think I screwed up because I was hoping that I will get at the moment we're gonna do. I was hoping that I'm gonna get the news that was earlier. Shit, and now it doesn't look like news anymore like that. It was such a good stuff, man, and I did not even bother so that I would take that was stupid. I did not even bother to take the oh, this is extremely beautiful woman, there is absolutely no doubt about that. I did not even bother to take a screenshot of it. I did not bother to take a screenshot of that thing, and it's just this is what I compared to the Pete Hexet a little earlier. If you think, why do I have that thing? It looks like a Pete Hexet, really. That's exactly why. Is just it was just really so good. That stuff was just so good, and now it's gone. They changed it, they updated it. Okay, no, so the incomplete story. The incomplete story. Fuck the incomplete story. This is a very, very now complete. Very, very complete. The problem is not with the Mette, Marit. What the fuck is going on with you Norwegians? They're discussing about whether she can be a queen or not. You Norwegians, you explain to me what the fuck is going on with you. How the fuck can you discuss if she can be a queen in respect to Epstein and etc if you did not even discuss my case? Where the hell do you get the guts to discuss about somebody if she can be this and that when you did not even discuss this case? What the fuck? It's a schizophrenia what you guys are doing. That's a shiza. You are discussing something without the real owner of this case. I am the real owner of this Epstein case. I am the one who owns this Epstein, entire Epstein, and much more than Epstein, 9/11 and everything, all this stuff. So you are discussing something about whether she can be queen or she cannot be queen because she wrote him an email and that kind of stuff. Like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? The fucking email. The question is what is inside of the emails, and moreover, what the question is not whether she is suitable to be queen or she's not suitable to be queen. The question here is, why did you, the people of the Norway, allow this shit to go so far? I was in every fucking city throughout the Norway. I was in every village, almost, in Austria. I was in every village, definitely, in Slovenia. I was in almost every village in Croatia and almost every village in Serbia, and in every city, also minor city in Hungary, and minor city in Slovakia and Czech Republic, and throughout entire Poland. And I was in every minor city, even numerous villages in Germany, throughout entire Germany. And I was throughout every minor city throughout the Sweden, throughout the Finland, throughout the Belgium, throughout the Netherlands, throughout the France. Throughout the fucking France. Look how big the fuck is it. I was throughout every minor city, throughout the Italy, and throughout the Spain, Iberia. Go see how big the fucking Spain is. I was throughout every minor village, city in the Portugal. I was throughout every minor city and numerous villages in greater than Great Britain. I was throughout every minor city in Russia. Look how big the fucking Russia is, and Kazakhstan. Numerous villages throughout the Russia, from Siberia, from where the Japanese Sakhalin border is, to St. Petersburg, I should say, Sumiland, where it borders the Norway and Finland, and everything in between. I was in every city in China. I was in every fucking city in India. Listen to me good, you motherfuckers. I'm not an ordinary person. I was in every fucking city in Argentina, even minor city. I was in every minor city in Brazil. I was in every minor city throughout Mexico. I was through every minor city, and where people would not dare to step, police would not even think to go to, through the jungle of Venezuela, Colombia, and Ecuador, and Peru, Brazil, where gangs operate. I was in every city on earth, and not once, but who knows how many times over the course of the time they had me. I'm not an ordinary person. You might be looking at this case, it's an ordinary thing, it's nothing ordinary about this stuff. It's not difficult for a person like myself to view myself as I used to view myself. It's more than normal because it's more than real. It's not more than real because people would not want to admit or face the consequences, but simply because it is. Greece, Turkey, Israel, Iran, Iraq. No fucking country on earth. Australia, New Zealand, Arctic, Antarctic, Greenland, all the natives in Greenland, the Eskimos, all over the place in Russia and in Greenland, and yeah, that's about it, except to northern territories of Canada. They all fucking know me. Took the photos of me. I was all over the place, every fucking place on earth. Not once, but circled in major locations where there were the conflicts they're gonna take, or there were drug cartels, or whatever the hell it was. I would permanently come in. For decades, 50 years this case lasted, 50 on the missions which I departed, all arranged between the governments and whoever. Not even the police officers that would accompany for a torture's sake, the people who deliver the goodies, knew whether they're going to come back out, I should say, alive or not. And many missions where I was taken to, police would not even go. They would transfer me to the people that would take it from and disappear with me before they would again have me appear. Many missions, I said, was such a missions that police would not go. They would deliver me, and then I would be in a God's hands, even wherever the hell it would be. I had people, crazy people, demonstrated me guns. Not even too far from here, one case, in the next village here, admitting me that I can overpower them physically, but that they have the gun and they will use it, and you're drugged up and they will use the gun. You don't have to get killed in Colombia or Brazil or somewhere in Philippines or somewhere in wherever they have the gangs, wherever they deliver you. You don't have to. You can get killed right here next door. I was doing this shit for 50 years. That's basically 50. This is not an ordinary case. This is not just something just like this. And you'll be fucking discussing about whether she is suitable as a queen or not. Well, what the fuck did you think? Maybe it's time for you to discuss about what you have done to me. I am not interested in the stay in the Norway. I don't think that I have seen in my lifetime, in my entire life, I don't think that I have seen a more beautiful country than Norway. I don't think so. It's incredible. The nature, this mountains, everything is just, it's insane. It is insanely beautiful country. This is absolutely, it's utopia. It's incredible. But, you know, I am not the person that would, insist, whatever, if he's not welcome, whatever. That's why I also departed, because there was no job, because of what went on with the royals, and because of the laws, you can only stay up to 3 months in any European country, member, European state, if you hold a citizenship of the EU member state. And so unless you find a job and all that kind of stuff, you have to leave, you have to go. And then repeat this. I didn't know that you all go across the border and then you can return or whatever the hell that is. I don't want to be bothered with that stuff no more. I was doing this shit when I was in Poland and all kinds of stupid stuff. The bottom line here is that what you're doing, you, the Norwegian, is schizophrenia. What you're doing is you do the shiza, collective shizoia. You're doing this collective schizophrenia in hope that this somehow is going to go away. In hope that I will be killed, that something is going to come and it's going to release you, and it's just all going to be good. That's what the fuck you're doing, and that's quite violent when I consider you're doing this shit for 54 years. Now, discussing whether she could be queen or she could not be queen, rather than respond to these accusations, is what the world should acknowledge is sickening. So, be careful with Norwegians, whatever you are. It's a sick attitude. It's an attitude that is criminal. This is not how the civilized society should function anyways. God forbid you get this kind of poisonous attitude in your country, wherever you are. This is a royalism, corrupt, criminal, backstabbing, see nothing, hear nothing, lie a whole lot, kill and steal, that kind of stuff. It's a sad stuff. I don't want to say anything anymore in respect to this video. Thanks for watching this video. As I already probably said this again. But this is as thorough as it gets when it comes to Mette, Marit, and Epstein. Now the story is complete. You have to agree with that. The first time you came to your mommy in the bank, it was in maybe even in 1979, 1980, when she took you. You were small. Because I travel everywhere with you and with your mommy. She would take us to the bank and so on, and back and forth everywhere. So she was not having the internet. At the bank, she was training to what she referred to as a future thing as emails. So the Norwegian police, Norwegians, even the banking officials already knew about the internet. So you know the stuff that I told you about how the royals always had the internet and always had the ability to communicate through the internet electronically? It's correct. Everything is correct. Everything is correct. Everything that I stated you. So they knew that this is going to be the way. The Norwegian police already studied very closely on how this thing could be done. Norwegian police watched me for a very long time. Irish police was extremely involved in this. It's what I was brought enormously. Irish also used me enormously. Every police department around the world used me. So yes, this is not what somebody would think. This is so wild that I hesitated even disclosing to the world about who I am, because the story itself would sound so fucking impossible to believe. Somebody traveled the world and drugged up 1,000 times around the world, city by city, village by village, not village by village, but smaller city one after another. You know how big the China is, and you know how big how many people in India and in China, Sri Lanka and Pakistan, Afghanistan. Not so much in Afghanistan. There were areas that in Afghanistan during the Soviet invasion, every fucking war I was there. Every war, every conflict, every shootout, important one, the major one, I was there. Do you know how big this is? And you are saying that I'm mentally ill, that I am sick, that I'm a paranoid schizophrenic. You wrote me a certificate in 2012. So what the fuck are you running? What do you have here on earth? What are you about? When you refer to democracy and all that stuff, you guys are talking about stuff that concerns world, people, and society in general that had no fucking connection to reality. You're gonna say that's from your point of view. That's from the 99% point of view. 99% of the people don't have connection to this type of circles, to this type of circles. 99% is a lot of people. That's a lot of people. That is a lot of people. That is way too much for corruption. 99% of the people of the society, global society, is enormous amount of human beings, and 1% cannot handle them through corruption. Well, thanks to the internet, maybe can. The internet is an excellent corruption tool, because everyone that watches has a ISP number, and that ISP number has its own user, and that user is a society member, and whoever you are, you live by the rules of the concrete jungle. Bye-bye. To be very, very, very thorough, I already did this video, and now I have to add this stuff, and I wrote down here that she knew for Epstein since 1980, before she was 6 years of age. She finally met one for the first time in 1982 because Epstein was a part of this Illuminati club, and she's from the Christian Sand and Illuminati. This is another stuff I did not spoke about. But where the fuck we gonna get if I'm gonna keep talking about this stuff? You know, so every time when I turn the brain on and connect myself more to the topic, and it's more and more information that is coming out of me. They were constantly coming to the Christian Sand. Where the hell can you not go to the Norway? Norway is beautiful everywhere. This is all British royals. This Norway was nothing without the British royals. This, I found myself Stavanger. Christian Sand is here, but this was very popular. Stavanger, Christian Sand, this everywhere. It's so beautiful. So Bergen, everywhere is just so beautiful that any place you have is precious because your guests are happy whatever you bring them. So welcoming to the Christian Sand. This is a Stavanger. Every city that you see here, who knows how many times in every fucking city I was. Every fucking city in Norway. I was also growing up in Norway. I was growing up all over the place. And so Christian Sand, she first time met in person Jeffrey Epstein. You're going to ask her that. She's going to answer to you in 1982. Yes, in 1982 I was just 10 years old. She was 8 years old. She met him first time when she was 8 years old. Saw him. I don't think that anything happened. Just saw him. She knew she's going to be used as a police sting before she was 6 years of age. She's a little small girl that would go for a walk with me and mom to the bank. She knew she would be used as a police. She started to play with the computer when she was before 1980. She would be used as a police sting. She knew about it. And first time she met Jeffrey Epstein in 1982. This must have been the guests that arrived to the city, and it must have been, whatever might have been, that she somehow, some way met these people. On the other hand, I do not know. Maybe she knows much, much more than that. Maybe they did something to her. I don't know. I really don't know what went on. But yeah, well, this is the way it was. This is basically the way this stuff was. In 1982, she already knew very good who Jeffrey Epstein was, who this man was, what this was. Everybody in Norway knew who Jeffrey Epstein was. Jeffrey Epstein gained in Norway very quickly attention. This is like a country of rabbits or something like that are all the time on a watch out about what goes on, and everything seems to be done under the table in Norway. And a police boss in that city, I don't know. I don't want to say anything. Her mom was very beautiful too. Maybe he dated her. I have no fucking... I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't know. Period. I don't know. I know that he would come around a lot, and that stuff might also be a little bit heavy on her father. I don't know. I don't know. I said I don't know. Not a very good circumstances. Not a very good circumstances. I would not want the police director to be coming around my wife all the time, around in the house. I would not want to have that. I would definitely want to kick his ass out. But on the other hand, it seems like in Norway you can get so easily in a lot of trouble, and so very quickly in a lot of trouble. So I don't know really what kind of society that is. They have all kinds of rewards over there in Norway. Like a Nobel Prize, they're very noble. You know what they say noble is? Noble? Noble, yeah, you're noble, very noble. That means very elegant, very, you know, blah, 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 blah. Yes, that's exactly what that means. Let me demonstrate to you also what is going to be one of my subjects. It's going to be this lady is from the Aargau. That is in Switzerland, where I was brought. Where the ladies do not enjoy where they don't enjoy so much freedom. These ladies were all involved in MK Ultra, and I participated in this celebration. They did like this, that it was a bunch of ladies that ran into my direction with axes and shit. It was really like this. No, they were not scary to me because they were just so beautiful.
In 1712, the feisty ladies of a
you have to admit that if somebody drugs you up and they deliver you on a picture and all of a sudden you have something like this running in your direction, the truth is that it actually happens before you blink with the eye, but before you open your eyes, but...
In 1712, the feisty ladies of a Protestant village helped their men fight in a war that pitted Protestants against Catholics.
Okay, these ladies, they're not unhappy. They are just, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to go into anything. If I can help somebody somewhere that needs help, that's fine. But I'm not going to say anything. But I don't know. I don't know. They talk about the women's rights. You can go and you can investigate yourself. You can do. I am not going to give the comments here. I don't want to go and break some marriages and stuff like this. I don't do this. They were involved in MK Ultra. I did this because I don't know how the Norwegian society really is. On the surface, looks like everything perfect. Swiss society on the surface also look everything perfect. But I don't know nothing how it's under the surface. You know, for her the things appear, work out, thanks God. She does have beautiful children, and for her things work out okay. But the stuff that was done to me is just bizarre. It's not civilized, it's actually truly insane. And so I really don't know much about the Norwegian society. I was there. I enjoyed the mountains. It's full of these beautiful girls and stuff like that, and nature, like I said, and that's all there is. The bills were very high. There was no job, and I met a lot of people that were involved in MK Ultra that I would not even smell because of the psychiatric threats that were made to me also all over the place, and numerous in Norway, where I used to be delivered since I was baby practically also. So that's all I gotta say. I don't have anything else to say. Goodbye. So now you also know since when she first time met Jeffrey Epstein. This square here that you have seen, I remember walking in this square even with her when she was really, really young. But they would not want me to be seen with her much. That's also interesting. This was weird. Because when she started to get, I don't know, it appeared to me like she was like, maybe in 1986 or something like that, they simply would not want me to be seen with her. And this is the stuff that I did not understood. What happened? Why is it that they would not want me to be seen with her if they want me to be with her? I didn't get this. And then it was just complete separation. Like sometimes in 1986 was like totally going like more and more the opposite ways. Yeah. All that other stuff, it was just, yeah, it could be that Haakon already got to know her very well in 1986. In 1986, this was just a 12 years old girl. Very, very, very possible, I would say, that she might have not even known that he knew her. I am referring to that sleep rape type of stuff, and I can possibly not exclude anything about what went on with her in 1986. She did go out, and what kind of people she was meeting? She was disposable at the mayor of the Christian Sand of the city where she's from. She was completely disposable at his request. This also had to do with her father. Also, those kind of issues were involved in it. I cannot exclude absolutely nothing. I cannot even exclude that she was not an Epstein girl. Not even this. I don't know. I cannot guarantee nothing. She would not get to become an Epstein girl because the royals have their eyes on her. From what I recall, Prince Haakon told me, yes, I recall this, that it was Epstein who already had her in his cloth, and it was in the last moment that the royals, the Norwegian royals, Prince Haakon, pulled her out of his cloth. So this was a totally operation Epstein and the Norwegian royals. Epstein was just a bad mascaron. He was just a bad image. Like a bow guy. Like you say that to the children, you tell them there is a, I don't know, some kind of guy that is scaring out there, and if you go there, he's gonna grab you and steal you, or that he's gonna, that what he's stealing the children, they say here in Slovenia, a parkl, something in that sense, that he was just more a mascot for something terrible. This is what Epstein was. Epstein was always a terrible man. So that those that saved her came out much smarter. This is the way this stuff was. This is what this is. Pretty confident that the two knew each other. Even if she did not know that, Prince Haakon, I'm sure that he had her already in 1986. And in 1989 he started to date her. That's for sure. Because she was sending emails from the royal palace. Father, Harald, number 5, had always a computer. I remember their residence, everything, where they had the computer and everything. And the son, Haakon, also wanted his own computer. And the daddy got him a computer like in 1986. The computer that he could communicate, and it was something like that he got him. I think it was in 1986 that he got his son, Haakon, this computer that he could communicate to the internet and so on, email, that kind of stuff. Haakon wanted to have his own computer. I think it was 1986 that he got his computer, 1987 maybe. I remember their residence, everything. You don't get anywhere here. The best policy is honesty in this case, or you're going to have a trouble. Her father was a good friend of the police chief. The police chief and her father were like this. Her father was not very honest man. That's relative, because on the other hand, he had plans for me. It appeared like he wanted to help me. So I don't even know about this. I don't know who the fuck was honest and who the fuck was not honest. Was it a mayor that screwed it up? Was it a chief of the police that screwed it up? Was it that her dad screwed it up? Or did I screw up everybody? No, you cannot screw up everybody. Especially not if you're a child. But he was a friend of the father was a friend of the police chief, and maybe I had something to do with the screw up, because I was the friend of the royals. I was a little brainwashed dude that was extremely dangerous, in that sense that if you would wanted to hurt the royals, you would have a serious problem. If you would be playing with me, if you were playing in front of me, and you'd be like, in a sense, you would go and hurt royals, they would definitely get you, because I would be the one who would get you. And so father wanted to maybe even help me, and I did not understood, and maybe I was even a trouble for him, and maybe for the police boss. I have no fucking idea. I really don't know what went on. But the police director or police boss, or the Christian Sound, whatever, no, he was not in a bad relationship with the father. He was actually in a good relationship, and the father was in a good, he must have been also in a good relationship with the mayor. Although I don't know what the hell went on. Who knows what they have subjected Mette and Marit to. Norwegian royal family is definitely not innocent. Everything looked like they saved her, but... And probably in a big way they did. If you have so much money, so much wealth, and you get married to a regular mortal that finds himself in this kind of situations, you know how many girls like Mette and Marit end up in a bad hands? Yeah, it's actually, it's good. It's good that this happened to her. Nah. It's plenty worse stuff out there, really. I would hope so. She never complained to me about her life, that she would be. She actually told me that she's okay, because I asked her, you know, how it is, everything, and she was pleased. She said she's okay, but how about you? She said. So it was like this. So I assumed that she is okay. The interesting part is both of them confessed to me as guilty. That's the interesting part. Now about the video thumbnail. Why the video thumbnail? That's usually the stuff I do not do. Both confessed to me during hospitalization, psychiatric hospitalization in 2013, that both were up to no good and that they might not even accept royal nomination. Well, there is something more I want to clarify before I'm out of here. This is just a video why this is my thumbnail. These people are so much involved in brainwash that even the thumbnail is a subject to what was MK Ultra. There is a little bank computer right there on the upper, symbolizes one. Left corner, and then you have on the right corner you have the couple, and right on the bottom they hold this paper made crowns, whatever, cellophane crowns, and right behind them there is this curtain. This symbolizes Norwegian flag. I'm sure you know the Norwegian flag. It's not difficult to know one. This here is what concerns me. Severe torture took place when I was thrown to the psychiatric hospital with this man who just happened to run one in exactly the settings that you see right there, with what was suggested to me could be possible prison. Curtain is behind and gesturing me on how I will be deciding about it all. With Slovenian police that hijacked me, these people gave their ultimate efforts to get me killed even after I was thrown into the psychiatric hospital in 2012, 2013. They did all they possibly could to get me killed. And knowing about their wrongdoings, knowing about their atrocities, had absolutely no repentance, other than they told me one day I would be the one deciding about their fate. Then, in between all this, they also connected themselves to some other people that were involved in it and started to extort based on their Norwegian ethnicity. Here I am referring to American people. That I should back down, that I should comply in that sense, that I should make them no problem, no trouble whatsoever. As you see, they keep their promise right there. The Norwegian society, it appears as if they would put them on a trial. I'm afraid that this is not the case. I am going to be very, very short with this. For the stuff that you have done to me, I personally would have, you know, this is the reason why the Romano family was executed. Right now you're thinking probably I'm a lunatic. For the stuff that you have done to me, I would have placed you Harald, wife of the Harald, Queen Sonja, Prince Haakon, Princess Mette, Marit Mette, Mette Marit, and no, I would not do that. 4 of you I would place in front of the wall, and I would fire the bullets. I would have a fire squad in front of you. I would marshal the fire squad in front of you, and I would dodge the bullets in you at once. It's like this because simply incarcerating you would cause me a trouble. It's like this simply because exiling you, therefore confiscating your entire property is what I would do. Entire royal property, from your children, from your grandchildren, absolutely everything you own is what I would confiscate you and place you in front of the wall and chop you down like a grass with the bullets in front of the fire squad. Boom, 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 finished. And would do so because it is proven that when royals immigrate abroad, they have a tendency to bring a lot of problems upon the nation. That stuff can be seen through the Reza Pahlavi in Iran, which suffer a tremendous misdeed since the departure of the Shah Pahlavi from Iran, when they were internationally then sabotaged, I should say, placed on a sanctioned and sabotaged in every possible sense. This exile of the royals brought upon entire nation a tremendous suffering. And of course that I would do this because you're not humans, you're not humane, you're imbeciles. You participated in executions of the German Norwegian children, couples. You participated in Norwegian psychiatry at large, and you claimed to me to be a victim of a neo-Nazi Germany and how you have escaped for your life from Norway to Britain, knowing, yes, this is what you, King Harald, have used against me for your torture procedures, for your claims, for your schizophrenic cooperation with Russians, Serbs, Slovenes against me behind my back. That's what you were doing. That's how you were hugging together with the swines here in Slovenia. And in return, you got everything I had in my best faith I possibly could give, especially under the circumstances I was in. That will be my sentence for you. I would spare your children, I would spare your grandchildren, however, I would confiscate absolutely everything from them. Another reason why I would do this is because when you spare criminal royals and they escape abroad, they don't suffer any kind of punishment. If you exile them, they don't suffer any kind of punishment. The only thing they do is they go to their cousins or they go to their families, they go to a bunch of other royals who will take care of them. So exiling them is completely unjust because it means to screw yourself up completely and even bring a tremendous suffering upon the nation. That's why royals, rather than being exiled or even imprisoned, usually are executed. There is a reason for that. And you, as a royal Norwegian family, you deserve, you're never going to get any kind of different words from me. You understand? What I see in you simply is animals that deserve no other than execution. That's all that is. I'm going to stop about. That's why even that thumbnail that I use for the video, it's of symbolic. It represents your extremely rotten. I have no idea how you were capable to see me when I barely could walk, when I barely could move my jaws, talk with the saliva running out of my mouth, when I barely could move simply because I was in so much pain from these so-called medications, which everybody knows greatly shorten life expectancy. These are life reducers because they destroy kidneys, livers, absolutely entire system. They kill you. They're not, it's a poison. As you take the so-called psychiatric medication, it's a poison. They don't affect anything your brain, they don't affect anything your mind. However, what they do is they destroy your kidneys, they destroy your liver, they increase diabetes in you, they make explosion of a diabetes in you, heart failure. I was under the cardiac arrest 24/7. For many years I couldn't even sleep. I was sleeping with a pain in my chest, heart. That kind of lunacy this was. This is what you did. I even had from this psychiatric pain pills, pain, neural pain, spinal pain. Even my spine was in a tremendous unbearable pain because of these medications. They have a tremendous effect even on the nerves, on the entire system. It's poison. It's a pure poison. It will be better that you give people the rat poison next time. It's more effective. The rat poison is much, much more effective than psychiatric medications. You're fucking scum of the world. You knew it. You insisted on it. You use Epstein literally for the psychiatric hospitalization's sake. And once I was thrown into the psychiatric hospital, you had me participate in MKUltra to acknowledge that you are no fucking good. That's how you confessed, basically. You had no courage, no face, no nothing to do something. It's a problem because you call yourself royals. You're shit. You are undoubtedly piece of shit. Your accident, your dreck. As a Norwegian, if I would be, I would have a real problem seeing you in a public. Seeing you absolutely anywhere, because it's really such a beautiful country and such a beautiful people, and you're just a fucking disgrace for the human race, not only for the Norway. And I would really have a problem dealing with seeing you absolutely anywhere. You understand? It would be difficult for me to. It's I think Norwegian people are also very beautiful people, and it's just it's not right, not toward people, not toward everybody, to be governed by the psychiatric lunatics, basically by the people who crave to kill, to backstab psychiatry. They love the psychiatry and brag world about how they were victims during the World War II and that kind of stuff, completely disregarding all the real facts and everything, just going your way, doing it in the most disgusting way, presenting yourself, actually attempting to present yourself as you and the people were able to see even as the victims of Epstein. Fuck you. That's all you will ever get from me. You aren't gonna get any other verdict. If I could, I would have marshaled you in front of the fire squad and get done away with the four of you. The rest of it, I would confiscate absolutely everything. You can stay, you can live, whatever is the hell you want, but without any kind of royal or any kind of title privileges. In fact, if you would claim some kind of title privileges in foreign countries, I would sue you for claiming any kind of title that you own. I would get done with you. Find a way to get done with you. This is the way it's done with a scum like you. And that's why also